Imagine you're running late at a train station. You're distracted, moving fast, not really watching where you're going. In most cities, that's where accidents happen. In Japan, the station itself is already one step ahead of you. The floor tells you where to stand. The platform edge won't let you fall. The train won't leave until the system confirms it's safe. Nothing about that scenario required you to make a good decision, because the infrastructure already made it for you. There are 15 systems like this, and they all work the same way. Number 1, platform screen doors to prevent train track accidents. Most cities respond to people falling onto train tracks the same way. Warning signs, painted edges, maybe a safety campaign. Japan decided that wasn't enough, because all of those solutions still depend on you paying attention. Platform screen doors are full-height barriers that run along the entire platform edge and only open when a train is stopped and confirmed in position. If the train isn't there yet, the doors stay shut. Once passengers board, the doors close before the train moves. There's no point in the sequence where you can accidentally step off the edge, because there's no moment when the edge is accessible and the train isn't ready. Number 2, tactile paving to guide pedestrians before they get lost. Those yellow strips on Japanese sidewalks and train platforms look like a simple safety feature, but there are actually 2 distinct patterns, and they mean 2 different things. Raised dots tell you to stop, danger is close. Raised lines tell you the path is clear to follow. Your feet are reading a set of instructions the whole time you're walking. What makes the system work is where the dots get placed. They show up 3 or 4 steps before the actual hazard. So by the time your foot registers the warning, you still have room to stop. Number 3, earthquake early warning systems before shaking arrives. Japan built a nationwide network of seismic sensors that detects the first wave of an earthquake, the fast-moving pressure wave that travels ahead of the actual shaking. That first wave is mostly harmless, but it means the destructive wave is seconds behind it, and that gap is enough to do something useful. The moment the sensors pick up a signal, alerts go out to every phone, TV, and public speaker in the affected area automatically. Trains brake without a driver deciding to. Elevators stop at the nearest floor. Surgeries pause. None of that requires anyone to react, because the system already reacted for them. Number 4, train platform queue markings to prevent boarding chaos. When a train pulls in and there's a crowd waiting, the natural thing people do is drift toward where they think the doors will be and push forward. That creates a bottleneck right at the entrance, which slows down the people trying to get off and jams up the people trying to get on. Japan painted lines on the platform floor, and that problem mostly disappeared. 2 lines mark a queue on each side of every door position, so passengers line up before the train even arrives. People exit through the middle, and boarding flows from both sides at once. Number 5, preventive maintenance on trains and infrastructure. The Shinkansen has been running since the 1960s and has never had a passenger fatality from a derailment or collision. That's not luck. It's what happens when you build a maintenance system around the assumption that every component will eventually fail, and you schedule that failure to happen on your terms. Inspection trains run the lines regularly, scanning track geometry, wire tension, and rail surface conditions, and anything flagged gets fixed during overnight windows when no passengers are moving. Number 6, color-coded transit maps to avoid navigation mistakes. Tokyo's train network runs well over 100 lines operated by multiple companies, and yet most first-time visitors navigate it within a day or 2. The reason is that each line gets one color, and that color shows up everywhere. On the map, on the platform signs, on the trains themselves. You don't need to read Japanese. You just match colors. On top of that, every station carries a letter number code. If you're at G07 and need G12, you count 5 stops and follow the numbers upward. That's it. Number 7, parcel redelivery scheduling to prevent missed deliveries. Miss a delivery in most countries and you get a paper slip on your door and a trip to a depot that's only open during the hours you're at work. Japan built the process around the assumption that missing a delivery is normal, so the fix is already built in. Carriers let you pick a 2-hour window for delivery, and they actually hit it. Miss it anyway, and you reschedule online for another specific window the same day or the next. Some services let you redirect the package to a convenience store so you grab it whenever you want. Number 8, public restroom privacy sound machines to avoid discomfort. In Japanese public restrooms, there's often a small device on the wall with one button. You press it and it plays the sound of flushing water. That's it. It exists because before it was invented, people would flush the toilet repeatedly while using it just to cover sounds, burning through several liters of water every single time. The device plays the sound without using any water at all, so the privacy problem gets solved without the waste. Number 9. Detailed trash sorting systems to reduce waste problems. In many Japanese cities, trash gets sorted into burnable waste, non-burnable waste, PET bottles, glass, cans, cardboard, and more, with a different pickup day assigned to each category. Every household gets a calendar showing exactly what goes out when, bags come color-coded by type, and neighborhood groups post reminders before each collection day. The sorting categories match what the processing facilities downstream can actually handle, so PET bottles go to a different facility than glass, and the two never mix. Number 10. Convenience stores that handle routine errands in one stop. A Japanese convenience store, a konbini, shares a name with what you'd find on a highway off-ramp in other countries, but the two things barely resemble each other. At a konbini, you can pay utility bills, print documents, send packages, pick up parcels, withdraw cash, buy hot food, and handle government paperwork at a kiosk inside the store. Most of that gets done at one counter and one stop. They're open around the clock and spaced close enough together that there's almost always one within walking distance, so you don't schedule time for these errands. You handle them on the way to something else. Number 11. Umbrella stands at entrances to prevent wet floors. At the entrance of almost every Japanese building, there's an umbrella stand, and on rainy days you leave your umbrella there before walking in. It sounds like a courtesy thing, but it's actually solving a physical problem before it starts. A wet umbrella dripping onto a tile floor is a slip hazard, and in a busy entrance that hazard multiplies fast with every person coming through the door. The stand sits right at the threshold because that's the exact point where the water would enter the building, so it never gets the chance to spread. Number 12, omotenashi service that anticipates customer needs. Omotenashi is the Japanese word for hospitality, and the translation most people use is wholehearted service. But that doesn't really describe how it works in practice. It means a staff member notices your water glass is 2/3 empty and refills it before you think to ask. It means someone sees you walk in carrying a heavy bag and moves to take it without waiting for you to look around for help. The service runs ahead of the need, not behind it. Staff are trained to read the current state of a guest and project what comes next, so they're already moving before the discomfort registers. Number 13. Compact urban planning that reduces commuting burdens. Most Japanese cities don't separate residential areas from shops, offices, and train stations the way a lot of other countries do. Everything sits next to everything else, so the apartment building is next to the grocery store, which is next to the office block, which is next to the station. That layout means most daily errands happen on foot, on the way to somewhere you were already going. You don't drive to the grocery store, you pass it. Number 14. School emergency drills for disasters and evacuations. Every year on September 1st, Japan runs a nationwide disaster drill. Schools stop what they're doing, children drop and cover, evacuation routes get walked in the exact sequence that would be used in a real earthquake. The reason that repetition matters is what happens to your brain in an actual emergency. You don't think clearly, you freeze, or you follow whoever's moving, or you just guess. A drilled response skips that whole process because your body already ran the sequence dozens of times and doesn't need your brain to decide anything. Number 15. IC cards like Suica and Pasmo that eliminate ticketing and payment hassles. Suica and Pasmo are rechargeable cards that work on trains, buses, and at most convenience stores across Japan. You tap in, tap out, and the fare comes off automatically. No ticket machine, no cash, no queue. Every person who stops to buy a ticket is blocking the people behind them, And that delay stacks up across millions of trips a day until it's dragging on the whole system. The card removes that stop entirely. It also auto-reloads, so you don't have to think about your balance. Same card works at vending machines, taxis, and convenience stores, which means you can get through an entire day without touching cash once. Every system on this list runs on the same logic. Spot the problem before it happens, remove the conditions that cause it, and let the fix run on its own without anyone needing to pay attention or make a smart decision in the moment.